Good evening. It's Sunday, February 9th, 2025. It's my pleasure and honor to be speaking with a World War II veteran and hero.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Mr. John J. Jeckovich. How are you doing today?
Very good, very good, very
I
good.
like your military style uniform you got on.
What do you mean military style?
OD.
OD.
OD. Where's OD? This. Yeah.
What is OD? Well, drop.
This is tan.
So you're looking well. Did you have a good day?
Oh yeah.
I wonder why you're not out watching the Super Bowl.
Oh Jesus, that's Super Bowl. I heard that all day. Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. You taking a bet? What's the Super Bowl? Super Bowl. Crazy thing.
So you heard that all day then, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Did people want you to bet?
Oh yeah.
And did you have like a party, a Super Bowl party at your
Oh,
house?
they come up. What's the odds? What's the odds? They talk Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. Right.
Did you ever go to a football game?
Yeah, with high school games.
But you have
college games, yeah.
But you have no interest in this other stuff.
Yeah,
Right?
not this stuff. Not the Super Bowl. Here's the Super Bowl. Here's the Super Bowl. Here's the Super Bowl.
That's funny. Yeah. But you went to high school games and you enjoyed them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Groton High School, Niagara Falls High School.
Yeah. And you've been looking at your Niagara Falls High School yearbooks?
I did, yeah.
Did you find anything extremely interesting
I
in them?
seen that Rose Kamensky.
So Rose Kamensky, you seen her picture in the yearbook and you dated her for a while.
I dated for a while, yeah.
Is Rose Kamensky the girl that wanted to marry someone that wore a suit and tie? Did you say?
That's what she did. She hooked up with some guy in the office. They went to Wisconsin.
And so she wanted to be with someone with a suit and tie?
No, she didn't want to be a mill hand like her father.
Oh, okay.
Her father worked for Kimberly.
Oh, okay. So let me try to understand that. Rose Kamensky lived on Royal Avenue,
Yeah.
which was like a stone throw from the factory, Kimberly
Yeah.
Clark. And her father worked as production there, right?
Yeah, but she didn't want to wind up as a mill hand.
And she didn't want to marry someone that worked in a factory.
Yeah.
She wanted to marry someone that wore a suit and tie.
Well, the guy worked in the office at Kimberly Clark, and then
So how'd that all turn out?
they went out to Wisconsin.
An interesting fact of that, the guys working in production in the factory in Kimberly Clark, with their overtime and their hours, they make more money per year than the people that wear suits and ties in the office,
Well,
right?
that's the prestige they're going for.
Prestige.
The prestige is worth a lot of money for that.
And so Rose was interested in prestige.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rose Kamensky, yeah.
Where do you think she is now?
Probably still in Wisconsin. Or probably, I don't know. You were supposed to find out about her.
Well, I know she's over 100 now because she's a year older than you.
Oh, yeah.
She's a year older than you. So I know she's over 100.
Yeah, she hightailed out of that office on Packard Road.
But she was literally living a apartment on Royal Avenue, right at the top with her family, right?
On Royal Avenue,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, before she got married, before she met she hooked up with a guy in the office.
Did you know the guy?
Well, I seen him around, but I didn't talk to her enough. No, I didn't look around.
Did he think he had great prestige by wearing a suit and tie?
Oh, yeah, well, that's what they get. That's the prestige. They go for the prestige.
Yeah.
And they look down on the guys in the production.
Yeah.
Rose Kamensky, yeah.
I doubt. It's an interesting fact that in Owensboro, Kentucky, we found your old girlfriend, Ann Mahaney. And how did that go?
Huh?
We found your old girlfriend named Ann Mahaney in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Yeah.
How did that conversation go 80-some years after you guys
Well, we talked on the phone.
Yeah, how'd that
Yeah,
go?
well, she was not, no, she's 89 years old. She was feeble, yeah.
She's older than Rose. She's younger than Rose.
Yeah, yeah.
And so how did she sound to you?
Feeble.
Feeble. Yeah. And then what'd you do when you hung up the phone?
Took her pictures down off the wall and put my mother up there.
Yeah.
Put her wrapped up in a towel and put her in the filing cabinet.
So on a side note, Mr. Jeckovich in the military had a boot camp training session somewhere near Owensboro, Kentucky. Not in it, but close. And he was dating this wonderful lady called Ann Mahaney, and they were very, very close for months. And Mr. Jeckovich said, I'll give you a call once the war ended.
Yeah.
But that was 80-some years later.
Yeah, I never called her, huh? Well,
And then Mr. Jeckovich talked to her, and he wasn't too impressed. And he took her picture down off his office that he had there for decades. And under the picture, it was all yellow from being hung up on the wall for so long. And then, what'd you do with that picture?
wrapped up with a towel pulled in the filing cabinet.
So, and then you put your own picture up? Who'd
I
you?
put my mother up there.
Aha. That's how we get to the book. Their mother's sons. Mother's picture on the wall. Their mother's sons, the book. How many pages?
849.
We're tipping the scales we're at page 817, so on your new book you're working on, at least give me a couple chapters within a month or so, or I'll have nothing to read. And so Mr. Jeckovich called her 80 years later, and she answered the phone. She answered the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
living alone now, the poor soul.
Yeah. And the conversation didn't go too well, but how could it go after 80-some years? I don't know.
Where she lived in Wisconsin, probably cold as hell there.
She was still living in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Well, that's cold. That's
Yeah.
cold, yeah.
And Owensboro, Kentucky hasn't changed much from when you were there 90-some
Yeah.
years ago.
Owensboro, Kentucky, and Indiana's right across the river.
You were training in Evansville,
Yeah.
Indiana. So that's how he came with the book, Their Mother's Sons. Basically, it's a story of Mr. Jeckovich's life. His father passed away at 43, a legal immigrant that came to the country through Ellis Island, worked 3 different jobs to give his son a better life than he had on the Russian front in a nasty factory. And so he worked 3 different jobs. At the age of 43, his father, Marion Jeckovich, dropped dead making cement, and his father had to go recover the body at the hospital at 11 or 12 years old. And from that point on, he took care of his mother until she left this world, aged 89. And that's what the whole book is about. Taking care of his mother, getting drafted. Mr. Jeckovich got drafted into the
Well, that was supposed to be routine for everybody.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Let's not get into this today. It's Sunday. But it's supposed to be, but not anymore. It's Sunday, so we won't talk about his 2 sons, his daughters, and his whacked out daughter-in-laws. We won't.
I got Rose Kamensky's picture in that Nigerian.
It's where?
That high school
Yearbook.
Yeah, I see her picture. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And she's 18, 19 years old in that picture.
Yeah, it's funny. Everyone looks beautiful.
Rose Kamensky.
Everyone looks beautiful at 18, 19. Get up to 40, 50, 60. Well, you got to have your imagination to call them beautiful. At 18, 19, they all look beautiful, right?
Yeah.
40, 50, 60.
Rose Kamensky.
They think in their mind they're beautiful, but they're not. It's a funny thing how that works. For example, many people go to these high school reunions, and everyone says to each other, "You look the same as we were in high school." That's like the big lie. And many of these people today that, they brush their teeth every morning, they look in the mirror every morning, and they don't think they're really as old looking as they are, because gradually looking in the mirror, you don't see the change. But I assure you, if you went to a 20th or 30th or 40th high school reunion and say, "What the hell? Who are these old son of a bitches?"
Yeah.
But who are these old son of a bitches? But in your mind, you still think you're young because you're seeing yourself in the mirror every morning.
You're aging.
Who are these old son of a bitches? Yeah. But Mr. Jeckovich is interesting enough. He, knocking on the door of 100, Mr. Jeckovich is knocking on the door of 100, but it feels like you blinked your eye and you're 20.
Huh?
It feels like you blinked your eye when you're 20 and now you're 100, right?
Yeah.
My God.
Time goes by.
Mr. Jeckovich blinked his eye and he was 100. I never knew of anyone being 100, to tell you the truth. I never did. I never did. But the cycle is pretty much the same. You look in the mirror, you think you're youthful looking, and then you go to your high school reunion and go, holy hell,
They're ugly.
these people are ugly bastards.
Yeah.
And I looked that bad too, maybe, but I didn't realize it. For example, it's the same thing worldwide. There's no changes. This is just how life is. You're not going to change it. For example, when a couple gets married young, 19, 20, 21, whatever the young age is getting married, I don't even know. You get married, the first thing they do is they spend thousands of dollars on wedding pictures. And they put all these wedding pictures up on the fireplace mantle, in the bedroom, in the kitchen, and all this stuff. It's just the way it is. It doesn't change. And then when the baby comes, their first baby comes, all the wedding pictures are pushed in the closet, and all the baby pictures take over the fireplace mantles and this and that. And then by accident, all these people, after about 10 or 12 years, they accidentally bump back into their closet that they put those wedding pictures in a decade or so ago.
Yeah.
They bump into it, and the guy would go something like this. This is nationwide. That's just not here. And he'd pull out the wedding pictures, and he'd see how youthful him and his wife looked. And now he goes, holy shit, that was once me. Now they're all fat and bald.
Yeah.
That's a cycle that goes on all the time. Nothing changes unless there's rare situations. But that's the cycle of life, and you're not going to change it.
We had Zach sat over with his girlfriend at lunch today. Zach, yeah.
Oh, he's
a character.
He's got a heart of gold. He'll be a great father.
Yeah, I told him, I said, you're going to get some rest, you're going to have a rough time coming up.
He'll be a great father. He gets his big heart from his father, Tom Jeckovich Sr., and Zach will be a great father, and he'll be a good provider. He has it built into him. He's got a good kid, and he's always working and making a nice living. Always making a nice living. So he's a good kid. He's a heart of gold, but he's a jokester. He likes to play a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
Hey, God bless him. Jen?
Yeah.
Could you give me the minutes, please?
Yeah.
What glasses?
16.
Hi. Yeah, Zach's a joker. He's a great kid. And what about when you seen last night? You had Tom and Jake, and you had Brantley and Brooks.
Yeah.
Weren't those kids wonderful?
Yeah.
You see how they have so much
Well,
energy?
Zach, he's a joker. He's a joker, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good kid. But you see those little babies running around? Those little babies?
She's cute, yeah.
Wasn't that baby cute?
She gets around, too.
Oh, he could
She
go.
got a temper. She wants her way, boy.
Yeah, and you know something? If he didn't have those two older brothers, like Brooks and Brantley, he wouldn't know as much as he does. He watches those kids like a hawk, and he follows exactly what they do. And those little boys treat the younger 1-year-old really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice situation.
Yeah, they look after him, yeah.
It's a great family, and Lily's a great sister too. She really takes care of him nice. She really does, and so does Haley. Haley takes care of him nice too. So it's a nice family, but on the other end of it, you get some real deadbeat families, some real bad people. Real bad people.
Well, that's where they were brought up. That's their genes.
Yeah, but a lot of times, if the husband marries the wrong lady, and the lady's a sociopath with no empathy, then the husband becomes a piece of garbage too.
They got a bunch of buddies they go around with.
Yeah, it's worthless. It's senseless. It means nothing. It means nothing. But it's Sunday, so we're going to keep this nice and clean. We're gonna keep this nice and clean. I'm gonna start reading the book, so I'll need your dog tag number.
42965.
Beautiful. That opens up the laptop to read the book. Do you want to read a few pages?
No, go ahead.
Okay, let's get a few pages under our belt. Let's get a few pages under our belt. Oh, by the way, Mr. Jeckovich is from Company H, the 2nd Battalion of the 291st Regiment of the 75th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army during World War II. Yesterday, Mr. Jeckovich lives by the motto, happiness is good health and a bad memory. He also lives by the same motto, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. Wow, yeah, that's a good point. So how are you feeling today, Mr. Jeckovich?
Huh?
How are you feeling today, Mr.
Good,
Jeckovich?
yeah, good.
You're looking well. Let's see, let me get some reading under our belt. As I left the office, this is when you're closing down the laundry.
Yeah.
As I left the office, I swung around the escarpment towards the store. As I drove by there, several people inside the place looked fairly clean with no soap or water on the floor. I did not go in but drove home. I was discouraged and despondent. I was heartsick at what befallen us, and eventually that these startling declarations would ultimately change our whole lives once again. I thought of how fate had once again stepped in and dealt me a fatal blow. Knocked me down 9 times, we'll get up 10. At the precise time that events were finally going my way. It was not the first time, and all probability, it would not be the last time. Life goes on. Delphine, on hearing the news, was naturally disappointed and saddened, but she quickly recovered and exclaimed that we would have more time for the children and not leave such a hectic lifestyle. So that was a good point. And that we would have more time for the children and not leave such a hectic lifestyle. All right, here we go. Always on the go and attempting to do many things at one time. She understood our problem for having the store, what a letdown it would be in our lives. The force would no longer be there, and we'd had built over the past several years, and it'll be torn away from us and never to be restored fully, or perhaps even more, never realized it ever again. Since it was my long weekend, we took the children and rode around the town looking for a suitable location to move our laundry into. So what you did is you got in your car with your family and you start looking around for a new location.
Yeah.
And what did you come up with?
Well, I had to find families that didn't have wash machines.
And
They were low income.
did you find that?
I found it, but I wasn't too happy with it.
Where was it?
On Eli Avenue. Eli Avenue, McCann, and then what's the other street out there?
Cutterback?
Cutterback.
Is those all Polish people?
Polish people, yeah, most of the Polish people were there.
And was there existing store there? Was there an existing store there to rent?
No. Oh, it's an empty store?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, I said I'm going to go through all that now.
You're gonna start all over again.
Yeah.
And so what other locations did you look at?
Well, I looked up in the rapids where the people are. What am I going to do up there? They got a wash machine.
You mean the DeVoe area?
Yeah.
At one time, that was a very nice area, Niagara Falls, and I doubt it is now, but... And where else did you look?
We looked at Ransomville. We looked at some of the small counties around there, but I said, I don't have the heart to do it anymore.
That'd be a full-time job just driving there.
Yeah. This one, I could get in the car and be there 2 minutes.
Yeah, and then if you
Then I had a
drive...
fireman across the street and policeman down the street.
Yeah. So if you drove to Ransomville, it'd be an hour each way.
Yeah.
And then you have to work with all the laborers to get the thing started again.
And then the neighbors out there probably paid the asses too.
And then you'd have to worry about if you didn't get another rogue landlord like DeGluca.
Yeah.
And that'd be another problem.
Yeah.
So eventually you decided you weren't going to do it.
Well, they set it for me. They shut us down. They closed the place down, but put a convention center in. That settled my problem.
Well, DeLuca was the landlord. He was a rogue individual. He was just a disgusting swine. After that store closed and they bulldozed down that property, in your travels, because Niagara Falls is a small town, in your travels, did you ever bump into DeLuca again?
No,
Never did.
no.
In your travels, did you ever bump into Shed again?
Shed? Well, I talked to Shed after a while, even after we shut this place down. He's still telling me about DeLuca still trying to get it into you again. He said, John, you just humor this son, I gotta get rid of him.
And so did you ever bump into him again after this?
No, no. Well, he what could he get from me? He couldn't cry about the basement.
How about the customers? You ever bump into customers again?
Oh, the customers, yeah.
You bumped into them when you...
Yeah, I used to go to Buffalo. I mean, the customers we had in Falls from Buffalo. We would go shopping there in Buffalo.
Where did you find a spot in Niagara Falls to store all that equipment?
Put it in storage.
Well, where'd you find the store? What location? Where was it?
For storage?
Yeah.
They had places that you stored. I paid $175 a month to store it there.
Was it close to your house?
It was close. It was in Kenmore.
Oh, wow. And you stored it there?
I stored it there until I finally sold it.
How did you advertise it for sale?
I didn't advertise it for sale.
Then how'd someone know about it?
That woman in Buffalo, she would stay in and she kept bothering me all the time. She had trouble this, trouble that. But she didn't have the problems I had. She was out in an isolated area, nice neighborhood and that.
Yeah.
She said, I'm going to think of getting another laundromat too.
Oh, so she got her second location. Yeah. Okay. And then she came and picked it all up, right?
So I don't know what happened to her. She never called back.
Yeah. Okay. It was just like starting over again, going to various sections of town,
7.5.
going to various sections of town, jotting down phone numbers, taking off of rent signs and vacant stores, windows. Was there a lot of vacant stores at that time?
What?
Was there a lot of vacant stores?
Empty stores?
Yeah.
No.
Did
Some of those stores were empty for 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
All run down. I spent $1,700 remodeling that damn place.
Did you ever think about going to Highland Avenue?
No, I stay away from there. No.
They don't have washers and dryers.
Yeah, but look at the neighborhood you're in.
Just yesterday, what we heard
Yeah,
about the Red House.
yeah.
So you didn't drive down Highland?
No, I stayed away from there. No, I said, no, I'm not asking for that.
Yeah. You might not be here today if you did. Yeah, a different robbery every day. After several hours of driving around, we headed for home. We'd go out again tomorrow and then try the north end, but the north end is where Highland is, right?
Yeah, what's that big street that all the colored people are?
Highland.
Highland, that's worse. That's worse.
Still today.
Yeah, that's worse.
Which we were not enthusiastic about. Delphine mentioned to Grandma that we'd have to close down the store shortly, and Grandma was delighted at the prospect.
Oh, yeah. I'd be doing more work for her.
That's something. You're losing your livelihood, and Grandma's delighted at the prospect. Wow. The first words Grandma uttered were, now that I could concentrate on doing the things around the house instead of wasting my time at the store.
Yeah.
She was something. Delphine said nothing but was disappointed at Grandma's remarks, and she reiterated her feelings to me that evening. I agreed with her and stated that Grandma always felt it was a bad idea for us to go into business, for she felt it would deter us from what she wanted, despite our wishes and desires. Delphine understood. She never held it against Grandma, and it was just quickly forgotten.
See, we never talked about the stores, but Stevie come to visit, or even look, they never talked about the store. I didn't mention it either.
Did you look forward to your brothers visiting?
Coming in,
Did you look forward to your brothers visiting?
well, him and Millie, I could take Stevie, I couldn't take Millie.
What was wrong with her?
I said, John, my mother this, mother that, and she thought she was a hot shot. Her father, her uncle, her brother was a Monsignor.
Wasn't she a dietitian?
Supposed to be a dietitian, but she couldn't cook worth the hell.
What did she do with that dietitian degree?
Then doing that, so she put a big note on her eyes. Have you kissed your dietitian today?
What the hell?
Oh, she was in love with that job, but she never worked it. She never used it.
Never did nothing.
Nothing. She followed Stevie around. She
Wow.
followed Stevie around.
Wow. We had found a location in the north of town, a large store more recently built of solid block structure with a large utility room in the rear. It was located in an area with many rental apartments and duplexes. That'd be a good area, which was conducive for a laundromat. We were enthusiastic about it, and when we met with the owner the next several days, it was the only location we approved of since time was getting short. It would be the place we'd work our final decisions on what to do. After several anxious days, we finally met with the owner on Saturday afternoon, and which brought to mind another Sunday afternoon meeting and the aftermath of that meeting. And here's how the meeting went. My impression of the owner was he was another DeLuca,
Yeah.
only much younger.
Yeah.
He was aware of the city and state plans for the east side of town, and he stated several store owners had approached him regarding the building for various uses, and that time was critical relative to the city's mandate of 90 days. As he verbalized his knowledge of the city affairs, I could see our only last hope of saving the store fading rapidly to oblivion. I finally asked a question I really wanted an answer to. How much are you asking for the rent? So he thought he had something special, right?
Yeah.
The figure he related was 3 times what we're paying now, an astronomical number.
Plus remodeling.
Plus remodeling, yeah. An astronomical number which certainly could not relate to. Besides, we would bear the expenses of remodeling, just like you said, the building, and we would only accept a 1-year lease. So what's the point?
Yeah.
1-year lease, you remodel a building, you're still broke.
And then with the ports of the basement, he would be charged. He would be crying about more money. He looked the type.
So it's a good thing you did it. Most deals are best to avoid. There's only a few good ones, and most are bad. Listen, depending on the volume of business we generated the first year.
Minute 40.
So he wanted to not only charge you rent, he wanted to get a percentage of the sales.
Yeah.
This guy's out of his mind.
He wanted to be in partnership with me.
Yeah.
I did all the work. I got the money.
Yeah. DeLuca was a saint compared to this landlord, and we thanked him for his time and left. I did not want to go home and relate to Delphine our last hope for the store. Also, our way of life for the past 6 months was slowly receding into a memory, and all of our hopes and expectations for a new, brighter life were completely shattered. Minutes?
Minute 10.
So that was going from bad to worse.
Yeah.
So this guy had a store that was empty for 20 or 30 years. He knew about the city pushing out 200 young Polish and young Italian store owners, and he thought he had something that was really special. So he wanted to give you a lease at 3 times your rate. He wanted to give you a lease based on the percentage of your sales. And then he only wanted to give you a 1-year lease.
And then he wanted the privilege of going to the store and looking around all the time. See that I wasn't destroying his property.
Well,
He'd be snooping around all the time.
that was the best thing to do.
25 seconds.
Huh?
25 seconds.
That was the best thing you did, was not do it.
Yeah.
So we have another one in the books. What do you want to do now?
Watch some.
Yeah, sounds good.
Wait a
We'll put
second.
this one on. 10.
Well, that was the end of the whole, that laundry business. That was it, that was the end of it. I said, hell, shut it down, the hell with it.
Yeah, you did the right thing.
Well, we